How you guys doing? This 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and tonight is UFC 246. I'm going to give you guys a little bit some picks and breakdowns for from 8 o'clock until the main event. So as you know, there's Donald Cerrone versus Conor McGregor. It's going to be a big fight, and everybody has their eyes on that. So we're going to get right into it. Starting at 8 o'clock, there's a fight between Andre Philly versus Sodik Youssef. Sodik Youssef, he's pretty much a knockout artist. He's basically knocked out everybody that you put in front of him, or um, had a pretty significant victories over them. He had a couple of decisions, but in his last few fights, he's had about 3 knockouts. Then he's going to against Philly. Andre Philly, he beat Miles Jury. This was last year. He also beat Shaman Moraes. But he lost to Michael Johnson, and a lot of people, when they see that you lose to Michael Johnson, a lot of people be hating on that stat, like, oh, he lost to Michael Johnson, he's pretty not that good. But he's a good fighter, and he has a few finishes on his under his belt. And what I would say about this fight is that what I really feel, and the reason I have Sodik Youssef, first of all, this guy is he's solid, and I think he's gonna be the future. Um, but in the same time, I think Andre Philly is somebody that they're just trying to put in front of him, to kind of further his 10-1 start, because he's 10-1 in the UFC, as a professional rather. So I think they're just trying to boost him, and I'm gonna roll with that. Sometimes when the company is behind you, they put certain things in in your position. Anyways, moving along, there's the Macie Barber versus Roxanne Modafferi. I don't have a play in that fight. Um, that's the heaviest dog on the night, paying 7-1. Um, believe she's a fill-in because she's basically a fill-in because the other girl didn't make weight. So a lot of people probably just gonna go with the person who's more active. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this Roxanne Modafferi person ended up knocking this chick out. You know what I mean? Nothing against Macie Barber, like, because this is a filler. But man, hold on, let's see. They call her the Happy Warrior because I don't know anything about her. But they call her the Happy Warrior. Last time she fought, she lost to Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia actually just fought on a recent card, and she lost to herself in a match that she was supposed to win. Uh, she lost to she lost to Shevchenko and Antonina Shevchenko. Well, she beat Antonina Shevchenko rather. Lost to Eubank. She's basically win loss win loss. She's due for a win, but she's a filler right now. Um, So, anyways, no playing that game. If you guys really wanted to pick somebody, you would have to pick the favorite and just paying 10 cents on your buck. So good luck. Next, there's Nasrat uh, Hakparast versus Drew Dauber. No playing that fight. Uh, there's Aleksei Olenek versus Maurice Green. I like Aleksei Olenek, honestly. That was a pick that I was looking at earlier when I saw the board, and I actually like that guy. I like his game. I think he had a bad break, and that number at 2-1, I actually like that number. I actually like that number. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad to me. 2-1. Yeah, I like Olenek at 2-1. Then there's Anthony Pettis versus Diego Ferreira. Anthony Pettis a whopping 3-1 underdog. I like Pettis to win tonight too, but I'm probably gonna let's get into some numbers. Let's see what Ferreira been doing because he's 16-2. He's also 35 years of age, so that factors in. He's on a he's on a 5-fight win streak, won by decision in his last two versus two guys that I really don't know, to be quite honest. Last time he fought was in September for the Khabib versus Poirier fight, so that's a while ago. That was also his last loss. His last loss was to Dustin Poirier, who just fought for the title. So this is like basically Anthony Pettis has a work cut out for him tonight. So if you guys want Anthony Pettis, I like Anthony Pettis as a fighter. I like his toughness, but the last he had a stoppage a few fights ago that I wasn't too pleased about, and he's basically like trending on a win loss win loss win loss kind of thing. Last time he had a fight was versus Nate Diaz where he lost. He was impressive versus Steven Thompson. He ended up knocking him out. So I like him to win. I like him to win still. I like Anthony Pettis to win, but Ferreira, he's on a serious win streak, but 35, man. He's 35 years old. Next, there is Holly Holm. She's gonna be fighting. Well, that's the co-main event. So Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington. Holly Holm's also she's everybody knows her. She's the one who knocked out Ronda Rousey, and she's the one who was a former champ kickboxer. Pretty solid game all around. She's a really good striker with a lot of reach. She's gonna be going up against Pennington, Raquel Pennington, who's also not a bad fighter in her own respects. I believe they fought before. I might be wrong, but I believe they might have fought before. Could obviously check that. Could obviously check that. Raquel Pennington versus I believe it's a rubber match. Why do I feel like she fought Pennington fought Irene Aldana, Jermaine Durandamy, Amanda Nunes, Misha Tate. She did, and she lost to Ronda. She lost to Holly Holm, but this is years ago. It was 4 years ago. I knew it did happen, but like anyway, this was back in 5 years ago. February of 2015 was the last time they seen each other, and Holly Holm beat her then. They ended up going to decision, and it was a split decision at that. So this might be basically a rubber match between these two. I don't really have a play. It might go to decision because Pennington is she's tough. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, she's tough still. Like she won her last fight, lost her last two. The last two before that. But um, honestly, it would for me it would be Holly Holm or nothing. Her game must have like her game evolved. She's more patient now. She's a better fighter than she was back then. She's been champ since then. Um, I like Holly Holmes in this spot, and honestly, she's not paying too bad either. Next, you got Odie Osborne versus Brian Kelleher. These names ring a bell. They're big guys, like they're known guys. I just don't know much about them. I haven't followed them. Like I have people talking to me about them right now, and I can't join, I can't chime in on the conversation because I haven't really caught any of their fights. Like I'm gonna have to catch Fight Pass, but that's so I'm not gonna have any play in that, and I don't want to take up too much of your time either. And on the last play, there is the main event, which is Cowboy versus Conor, and Cowboy is a 350 underdog. Now, mind you, Conor McGregor is a heavy favorite who hasn't fought since he lost to Khabib, and that's quite a long time ago. But he's a very effective striker. Now he's gonna be going up against some Cowboy Cerrone. Sorry, let me fix my laptop here. Cowboy is not like some guy that you're just gonna like. I've seen a lot of people like they talking about uh, who is this Cowboy guy? Is he any good? Like he's Cowboy like Donald Cerrone is a really good fighter. He's an all-around fighter. He could strike, he could take you to the ground, and he has some really good jiu-jitsu. He's gonna go up against Conor, who's proven in his last fight with Khabib that his ground game is just not there. And Khabib was trading with him. He was absorbing blows. He was taking hits. The last time I saw Khabib take a hit was versus Michael Johnson when he ended up knocking him down with a punch. And that was basically the last time I seen it. And Conor McGregor is supposed to be a guy who has so much hand strength, power in his hands, and he wasn't able to trade or even do any significant damage to Khabib. Like yeah, they had a good fight where they were really trading blows. I'm not saying that Conor sucks. I'm just saying for a guy who's supposed to be predicated on timing, precision, and power, or knockout ability rather than power, he hasn't he hasn't really showed that. And now he's rusty against a guy who's been active over the last how many years. Donald Cerrone is always fighting. He's always fighting somebody else. He's always seeing different moves. He's always watching different perspectives. He's always seeing different fighting styles. He's always ready for whatever. He takes his losses, and but he's a tough son of a bitch, that guy. So I got Donald Cowboy Cerrone to win this fight, but maybe it's gonna go to decision. But I got Cerrone to win this fight because he's the more active fighter, and I think he's just a little bit more well-rounded than Carter is. Like, you know what I mean? But what do I know? Anyways, that's pretty much it for me. You guys can follow me at 514 Mystic on Twitter, and you can check me out at bookiebullies.com also. If you guys like the video, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And this is pretty much it. Be safe, be good, and I'll see you again on Monday for some basketball, and some hockey. So if you guys are just tuning in for the UFC, make sure you check me out for hockey and basketball, NHL, and NBA. I'll always cap these things from Monday to Friday, so you can check me out during the week. Hit that notification bell so you're posted anytime I post videos like these. Don't bet what you can't afford to lose. All right? Be safe, be good. Peace.